Oh boy. How's everybody doing this afternoon? Truth Fears, Geezer, Williams watches. Okay, you got yourself green tea. Think that's a good one. Hi Clyde, how you doing? Oh boy. White pepper. Green tea is definitely good for you. Okay. Hey Geezer. Alrighty. Hi David, how you doing? Okay, howdy from Texas. Eddie, how are you? Donald, waiting for a storm to roll in. We are too. We're doing it's supposed to be a storm later today. We had hail the other day. Hi Mark, how are you? Oppressed Mark, poor Mark, corner Mark. Hi Bruce, how you doing, man? Junior, Mark in, Mr. Gumby. Okay, waiting on Amazon to deliver my beret. Oh, good. I'm glad you got one. It'll go with that beard you have there. Oh, you look good in the beard. Hey, Ian. Yeah, I finally saw Clyde in the beard. It was, I thought the beard was wearing Clyde very nicely. Okay, lots of rain here in southern Ontario. Yeah, let's see. No, he is. Okay, doke, everybody. Um, nice. Oh, my chronomat surveying. Yeah. Hello. Yeah, like this. Wait, I mean the beard. That's what I thought. That's how come they. Well, actually, it's sort of a. They both get the attention. Where's my guitar? I I don't play a guitar. Oh man. Okay. I don't know. Like all the time, I'm always looking at for a watch, sort of like a. You know how sharks have to move; they can never hold still. And I sort of see watch collectors like sharks. They're always looking for a good buy. And I after I yesterday when I was asking you guys about what you would do in terms of the steps you'd go through, I thought about that afterwards, and yeah, I was hi Cola from Norway. How's everything there? Um, Anyway, that was I was able to use a lot of your advice and everything for the video that I had today. So thank you all. That's what I wanted to say. Uh, Talking about how warm the weather is, forgetting that it's the middle of May and it should be warm. The quarantine is messing with us. Yeah, that's true. It really is. It's a pressing mark for one thing, and it just sort of like, yeah, enough's enough. I wanted to get some popcorn today, so I thought, well, I'll order it online. And they said you can come down to the store and pick it up today. And I thought, man, I don't want to go there. So I said, well, if you order this amount, you can you will have somebody deliver it to you. So I did. I thought it's, it's I don't know. I should have gone to the store. They have the town nearby us called Avon, and Avon is a pretty upscale town. And so in Avon, you go to the Walmart store to get popcorn or whatever you want to get. And this is no kidding. This is what they have. Usually when you go pick something up, they have a pickup area and you drive up in your car and somebody with gloves and a mask and everything gives you what you ordered. Not that Walmart. You go into the Walmart, and in the very back of the store, you have to go in the front of the store through every kind of all the Walmart shoppers and get your stuff and get out of there before you get anything and everything. That's the way it is. Popcorn be tasty. Yeah, that's sort of my I'm a popcorn junkie. Hey, Dwayne, my wife bought several pounds of popcorn. Good. That's the way to buy it. Uh, so you don't have to go out, but when they said if you buy X amount, we'll deliver it. And I thought, man, I tell you that that will make life easier. Now, I don't get it until Wednesday though. So anyway, has anybody bought a watch lately? Hey, BB Barber's shut until July in England. Huh. Um, the England, uh, I don't dare take my hat off. Boom. I haven't had a haircut since I don't know when, the last time they were open. What kind of popcorn? Orville Redenbacher's Smart Pop. Hi, dog. Um, okay, now, hey, Rod. Oh, okay, Rod, you bought a pole router. I love pole routers. David, you got one on Joma Shop? And 73 Moth bought a Zenith. Great. Well, you guys get good buys on it right now? Anything different than usual or just the usual good or bad that you usually get? Yeah, it's gonna be a while. I need to get back to my job first. Yeah. Yeah, this is one of the things that I think is really important. I was looking at this thing today, uh, and they had all of these different countries in terms of who lost their job. And I'm afraid we're not doing very well with that. What they had in Germany had the fewest job losses simply because what they did is that they kept everybody at work, not at work, but at home and got paid. And people say, oh, that's really crazy. They have no concept of the understanding of circulation of money. All right. So if your job gets shut off, who doesn't get paid? The rent doesn't get paid, the car payment doesn't get paid, the tuition doesn't get paid. I don't know what they're thinking in this country. That just, well, never mind. I don't want to start on that. Hey, Dwayne, what's up? Bought a used Tudor day date. Did you get a good buy on it, Dwayne? Whoa, 40% off retail and 6 months old. That's really good, 73 Mop. That's really good. That sounds great. Um, yeah, to me, the wife is going to attempt, yeah. Let's see. Pretty good. Yeah, I know, Mark. Okay, the Germans came up with a final solution. Clyde, you got. Uh, oh man. Uh, yeah. Got a chronograph for 75% off of Mito Multifort. Oh wow, those are, yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's now the 7753 is an automatic chronograph, right? Is that right? Lovely watch, fab size. And I got one, just need to wait for the stores to open to order another. Yeah, I missed Clyde. That's right. Uh Fed and Del Rey have great prices. Yeah, they're good. Yeah, yeah. I haven't got one there because I haven't seen one that I really wanted, and I don't, I don't know if Fed would be glad to see me showing up to begin negotiations or not. And I like Fed. It's a date pusher on the side, compact model. Very good. Hi now, Shed. How you doing? Orange hand. Um, man. Okay, that's so you the CP2. Hey, Airtoad. I got a Neil vintage from the 1990s. Been waiting for a good example to show up. Ulysse Nardine San Marco GMT. Okay, world's biggest truth equal no romance without France. That may be true. Uh, that was definitely the pick of the two you were looking for. Were it in good health. Very nice. Uh, oh, by the way, I hang on. Let me just do one final check before I open my mouth. I heard a couple times from Rolf Lang today, and buyback slot time. Man, I get since there's no March Madness, I have no idea. I get these certain weird ones. I was hoping to hear back from. I waited for the end of the week, hoping, and I sent the email out last night. And usually, he'll get back to me the next day, and so I haven't heard from Nicholas Vitarek today, and I was hoping to. So we'll just wait and see. It's hard to wait and it's hard not to be patient, but especially during this period, I think it's like very necessary. I planned on finishing the first pocket watch restoration tonight. Oh, that sounds like you've been busy with that. That's good. And you got your what's it called? Your cleaner, your cleaning thing. The Thunderbirds are about to do a flyover. Oh, that'll be fun to watch, Rich Buddy. Yeah, those are neat. Um, I don't know if we're about 7 miles from an airport, and so we see all different kinds of planes go by every now and then. Let's see. Rolex is a cousin of X-Lax. Come on. Oh man. Okay. A whole month more, I think, here too. We've been having, I think we're on the other side of the curve here because we've been having a constant, the number of people in the hospitals has been going down. And it's been a while. They started going down and then they went back up. And then ever since that, they've been going down, which is really good. Number of deaths, so still keeps creeping up, at least in my town, and that's no good. But this one doctor was saying if we don't do X, Y, and Z, we're going to have a really bad winter. Um, as far as the virus is concerned, and I hope we do what's necessary so we don't have a really bad winter. Um, Maybe that'll be the time to buy a watch. It's sort of a second wave of the pandemic. Use it for watch buying, like a bunch of vampires or something. Oh man, a whole month more, I think here too. Yeah, I don't. Hopefully they'll be spraying Lysol. Yeah, there's I don't know. Some doctor said this. I think I made this. Made it point out. He said, this particular virus has no wings. It has no legs. The only way it can spread from one to another is if people are in contact. And it's sort of like otherwise it's dead in the water. And I think where you've had a lot of good social distancing, you see that because in terms of the states around us, we've done a pretty good job, and so and to see it go down in the small number we've had. We don't have a very big state either in population or in size, and but there's certain parts where people are more crowded together than others, and I think that that's that's where the bug has a chance to jump from one to the other and a little slap it off. This hot weather is going to help. If you put something out in the sun, that'll help a lot. Number of people in the hospital going down because they don't make it to the hospital. Um, no, I don't think so. I don't think that's it. That's one thing. Our state had enough hospital beds, enough respirators. We were in good shape for that. We were talking taking the wrong approach. Need military approach. This is warfare, not a pandemic. Yeah, but we need a good leader, Rich. We need a good general. We don't- we we don't need Gomer Pyle leading the charge. Oh man. Yeah, and good generals have good plans. The I think there's a lot that our military could do, and so I think that might be maybe they'll come up with something. Who knows? Um, oh, let's see. New York has to come back. Yeah, New York, man, New York was hit worse than anybody. And California really did very well by comparison. If you look at the population of California and you look at it compared to New York or Illinois or some of these other places that are, it's not good. Uh, hey, Drone Tube, what's up? Do you have children? I got children and grandchildren, and I'm worried about them all. Especially the kids. I know that they're talking. Oh, we got to open up the schools, man. I don't want my grandkids to get that. They got that stuff with a rash and they can't breathe. That that's not so much fun. Opening up here in Denmark. If we don't, if we don't, everything we've built for generations will die. Yeah, this is something I think all of us are concerned about. Is that there are a lot of things that need to be done, and I think that if they can have more distancing by having more people work from home, I think that might be one of the solutions. And so instead of having a big crowd in an office, you have a fewer people because that's the only way this stupid bug is going to get from one of us to another is hitchhiking. I got to be careful around my goats. So, uh, will any small watch houses go away because of and become collectible? Rich buddy, that's a good question. That is a very good question. This morning, I had a really interesting talk with these guys. There's this uh, a firm in Turkey, and they were what they have is that they were interested in making enamel uh, glass, enamel crystals or Watts crystals. And I thought, wow, this is how do you make an enamel watch crystal? I guess they have something worked out. And then they talking about colors and everything else. And they also talked about the possibility of an entire watch made out of enamel. I don't know how they're doing it, but they have a bunch of this. They had some chemists and some engineers that we talked to this morning for it was about a half an hour. It's interesting uh, discussion about that. I work from home, and so it doesn't. So does my wife. She's magged me down to near death. Yeah, truth is that's a common affliction we all have, my man. we get. I feel like I don't know. They somehow we're sort of like do this and do that. The vast majority of ordinary people can't work from home. Yeah, I know Fahrenheit, and that's a good point, and that's something that's important. But I think more can than they've had traditionally. But you're right. I mean, you've got to have if you're in construction work, you can't you can't do that from home. And there are a lot of things you can't do from home, and that's but there are a lot of people who could do from home and aren't, and that has to do with tradition, and I think those traditions are going to change. But I mean, my God, there's all kinds of things, the restaurants, and man, it's really bad, and I hope that we can get through this thing. A big hope, I think, is what they're doing at Oxford. They're working on a vaccine for us, so I hope we all get it. And then it's watch buying time. Actually, now might be watch buying time. They reckon 15 million have had virus in the UK. 15 million in the UK? Wow, that's a lot. For the UK, I mean, in the US, they have just like 1.5 million or something like that, I think. And whoa, that is something. One thing we don't know because we don't have testing. It's sort of haphazard. Our governor said that they're going to have they're starting to work now to do more of it. Apparently, there's a private pharmacy chain called CVS, and CVS is having they're setting up a bunch of testing centers. It's sort of like, man, it's not for them. I'm glad they're doing it, but the government can do something. I hope anyway. We'll see. Uh, Testing is going well. Yeah, that's uh, if you have good testing, your numbers are going to go up. That was one of the early concerns is that they don't want to have testing because it make it look like we have a lot more. What I don't know. We live in crazy times. It's just I can hardly wait for about 3 or 4 years from now, or maybe 5 years. I don't know how long it's going to take, and so things are back to sort of a pre-pandemic normal where everybody doesn't have to stay home. But I think that period, a lot of things are going to change. We'll see. Um, paint. Let's see. I think 6.5 million in the UK. Wow. Cases are estimated to be 10 to 20 times reported. Yeah, I think so too. Have you ever seen the David Written meteorite watch? I've seen a lot of meteorite watches, Rich Buddy, and the only thing about meteorite watches that put me off a little is sometimes it's hard to see the time with a meteorite background because it sort of has a camouflaging effect on your hands unless you have some real contrast there. But I've seen a lot of them. They're very beautiful. Hey, Dr. A and B, the crisis becomes mental threats to humans around the world and very sad and strange time we live in. Yeah, Dr. A and B, I saw the same thing. Somebody was on the news today I think it was on the state, and they were talking about that. They're having a lot of people going around the bend. What we can do when we go nuts, we'll just buy a watch. I don't know if that's a good idea or not. No vaccine is coming for this 40 years and none for AIDS. That was man made, vaccine proof. I don't know what's going to happen, man. We have, one thing, and maybe this might help us in a way. The pollution is almost down to zero. I think that the people who measure pollution and see how polluted we are, boy, this year they're going to go, wow, it's really down. And even in the country where we are, where it's never that high because we have, first of all, we got tons of trees and forest and stuff, and they're all pumping out oxygen like mad. But man, even with that, the air is so clean. I've never seen as many bees. There are lots of bees and wasps and other things, and they're going from the flowers and huge blossoms on all of our trees. I don't know, man. That's like whoa. So maybe that's something that we can take away from this. Parmigiani did a great job of adding a nice semi-translucent paint on top of their meteorite material, makes it more subtle, easier to read. Ah, thanks. Yeah, it's like I said, it's really a fascinating look to have a meteorite, dial on your watch. I'll check that out. That sounds interesting. What did you hear from Rolf? Donald. Um, I don't know. I think Rolf and I think we confuse each other sometime. Uh, Rolf was telling me about all these new things that he's doing, and so I thought, okay. And then uh, I think we mix things up with a lot of stuff. But I think that as far as the deal that he has for us, if we want it, we can take it. And it's sort of expensive. The only problem I have, well, two things. One, it's only for five. I don't think he'd go more than five, but I don't know for sure. The second thing is that it's big, 37 millimeters, I think, or something like that, which we couldn't get into a 40 millimeter case. And so that those would be a couple of the concerns, but to have a movement like he has, that's that's like super super tempting. So, um, oh, let's see. Um, we need to find different sources of information. No kidding. That's one of the things that I don't like. It's hard to find who you're going to trust. Um, you know, our, our governor is doing the best job he can, but he looks like a deer in the headlights. He's always going like like that when he's talking, and but he's doing a good job. But he just looks like I said, looks like a deer in the headlight. Hey, Raj, I live on the under the flight path of Heathrow Airport, and apart from the drop in pollution, the noise has gone down. It's much more peaceful. That's that's true. We have I there are a lot of different approaches on the ILS, and that's an old. I don't know if they're still using it, but one of the approaches is right over our house, and so when there's bad weather, it'll either go over our house or someplace in around. Like I said, I think we're only 7 or 12 miles from the airport. So it's a little airport. I mean, Bradley Airport is it's not like LaGuardia or JFK or Logan. It's it's our regional airport, and it's international because we have a flight to Montreal. So it's sort of even in the worst of times, it's pretty nice. First rule: don't listen to YouTubers. Don't. You're right. That's the first, second, and third rule in us something. The YouTubers. No kidding. That is so true. Um, there's a cure for everything if you caught it in time, I believe, but a government that will never care about you and only cares about money will not give you one. I think you're right about that. Maybe that'll come out of that. That would be a good thing. And we come out with a society that, we start taking care of pollution and we start, doing other kinds of things. I think that while uh again, I'm part Swedish, I got Swedish relatives and everything else. Well, I don't agree with what they did because they literally have 10 times the number of deaths as similar sized countries who did something, in particular the Czech Republic. But one thing they did do, they took care of the elderly. They did something with the elderly to protect them, which I thought was a good thing. But still, with 10 times the number of an equivalent sized country like the Czech Republic, it doesn't look good. But now what they're hoping for is herd immunity. Let me join the herd. Uh, let's see. Hi Hans, how you doing? Let's see. Hey, guten Abend, Hans. Hey, Karas, how you doing? Hi, Bill. What to buy? Undervalued, complicated dress watches, especially Longa and Vacheron Constantin. Good point, Karasis. I agree. I think those would be good buys. Oh no, don't listen to me. That's too much responsibility. That to me, YouTube should be a discussion. Um, that's a nice thing to say, Mark, but it's like I've gotten stuff wrong. I had what was I got wrong lately? I forgot what it was, but I get things wrong every now and then. Um, the U.S. is not participation in the vaccine effort. Oh man, what has it got? The absence of specific tools, for instance, has lengthened the production process. Supply shortages, lack of planning. And back in, I think a lot of this stuff should have happened back in January and never did. At least here it didn't. And I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe we'll get deals on watches. That we'll have less polluted air and watch deals. Uh Man, that just it's one of those things. Like I said, I can hardly wait till 5 years from now when we can look back. I mean, just imagine. I was thinking like Eddie, who's starting college next year. He's part of the pandemic class of 2020, or I guess it'll be 2024. Things like that that's something you don't forget about. Just like sort of things in New York City were before and after 9/11, how things changed. And I think this is worldwide, and we're all much more aware of it, I think, than in previous times. The pandemic back in what 1919, I think it was, that killed millions of people. People back then were not as informed as, excuse me, as quickly as we are today. I mean, today somebody has an idea. Well, like this morning, that was these guys from Turkey. We'll call Bill. We'll talk to Bill about it. He's, here we are. I don't know how many thousands of miles away, but it's something in like right now. We got people from all over the world, and we're yakking away like, like there's nothing to it. And I that's always has been interesting to me is the fact that it's not as remarkable. In other words, yeah, here we are yakking away and then typing away and exchanging ideas and thoughts like it's no big deal. And no matter where in the world we are, which I think is really very a good thing. Uh Annie Hall with the lobsters. What do you, oh man. Okay. Anyway, guys, it's after 4:30, so I'm gonna have to jump. But thank you all, and by the way, too, thank you again for the help you gave me because when I put together that video, I was, you probably saw some of your ideas that I took. I will gladly steal anybody's ideas. Take care. Be safe.